When we think about what it takes to be successful, our minds usually jump to modern stuff: business books, data, analytics. But what if the deepest secrets to real leadership weren't in a spreadsheet, but were actually hidden inside a timeless story? Well, today, we're diving into an ancient legend that holds 4 incredible keys to unlocking our true potential.
It's a question that people have been asking forever, right? Is it just charisma? Is it brilliant strategy? Or is it something you're born with? We're all trying to figure out that one essential thing that separates the good from the truly great.
Well, the answer we're going to explore today comes from a pretty unexpected place, a fable from ancient India, passed down for generations. And it's a story that suggests the qualities of a real leader, a real king, are way more profound and observable than you might think.
All right, so let's set the scene. Our story begins in a kingdom that is just gripped by chaos. This place is on the absolute brink of collapse, and its people are desperate for a leader to pull them out of the darkness. So their king died without leaving an heir. And for 12 long years, imagine that, 12 years, the kingdom just fell apart. Anarchy took over, business ground to a halt, and a terrible famine swept across the land. People were suffering, dying. They needed a miracle, and they needed it fast.
So, in their desperation, the people turned to their priests, the astrologers, who looked to the stars for an answer. And the stars gave them this cryptic, powerful prophecy. They weren't told to look for a man with a royal bloodline, no. They were told to look for someone with 4 very specific, almost supernatural qualities. This became their quest.
And so the search began. We're going to follow one old astrologer on his journey, a journey that would lead him to the most unlikely of places to find this prophesied king. Picture this. He's deep in the Himalayas. A huge storm rolls in, and this weary astrologer finds refuge in the tiny, humble cottage of a local huntsman. He has absolutely no idea he's just stumbled upon the very answer his entire kingdom has been searching for.
In the middle of the night, the terrifying howls of predators, tigers, hyenas, wolves, surround the hut. The astrologer is frozen with fear, but the huntsman, he's completely calm. He just calls the beasts his acquaintances and walks to the door.
He opens the door, and in walks a tiger, a hyena, and a wolf, totally peaceful. So what's going on? Well, it turns out they'd been poisoned, and they sniffed out the antidotes, these special weeds the huntsman had gathered. He feeds each one, they're healed, and they leave. And in that moment, it just clicks for the astrologer. The first line of the prophecy.
Okay, so the next morning, things get even weirder. It's freezing cold, and the huntsman gets ready to start a fire. But here's the thing. He has no flint, no steel, no tools at all to create a spark. He just arranges some leaves and sticks on the floor and waits.
And then the astrologer sees it. The huntsman pulls back a curtain, and there, embedded in the roof, is a crystal. As the morning sun rises, its rays hit that crystal and focus into a single hot point right on the kindling, which just bursts into flame. The sun itself lit as fire. And just like that, the second piece of the prophecy falls into place. Later on, the astrologer heads to a spring to get a drink, but the wind has churned everything up and the water is too muddy. He complains to the huntsman, who doesn't seem worried at all. In fact, he just says, with total confidence, that he'll teach the rebellious spring a lesson.
So the huntsman takes out this little vial of oil he'd collected, and he just drops a few drips onto the surface of the spring, and instantly, the water goes completely calm and clear. As the astrologer is drinking this pure water, the third sign becomes undeniable. This guy could command the very elements.
The next day, they're high up in the mountains, and the astrologer spots a dam holding back this huge reservoir of water. He's totally confused. There's no mill or anything up here. The huntsman then explains that he built it because he'd seen the people on the plains below dying of thirst.
The huntsman then tells a story. When he went down to the plains to sell his goods, the people figured out he was the one who built the dam for them. He says they mobbed him with gratitude, kissing him, embracing him. And with that, the fourth and final piece of the prophecy was fulfilled. The astrologer knew, without a single doubt, who this man really was. So, let's put it all together. All 4 pieces of the prophecy were now in place. But this wasn't magic, it was mastery. The astrologer realized he wasn't looking at a simple huntsman at all, but a king in disguise.
Completely overwhelmed, the astrologer just falls to his knees and declares the truth. He tells the huntsman that his ancestry doesn't matter one bit. The stars themselves have chosen him to be the king. The prophecy was complete.
And so the huntsman, a man who knew nothing of law but knew everything about the world around him, he accepts his destiny. He's crowned king, and he goes on to rule for 40 years, bringing his kingdom a level of peace and prosperity it had never, ever known before. The prophecy was right all along.
Okay, so great story, right? But this isn't just a fairy tale. It's really a parable about the true source of leadership. The 4 signs themselves, they aren't the real secret. The key is how the huntsman managed to fulfill them.
I mean, seriously, how could one man command animals, the sun, and the water? How did he earn the love of an entire nation? It wasn't magic. It wasn't divine right. It was something much more accessible, something any one of us can actually cultivate.
When he was asked how he knew what to do, how to build that dam, how to heal those animals, his answer for everything was always the same. Just 2 simple words: I noticed. This is the master key.
See, noticing isn't just passive seeing. It's an active, conscious process. It's about really looking at the world around you, understanding how it all works, seeing the hidden needs, and then, this is the crucial part, using that understanding to take meaningful action.
And this is exactly how noticing unlocked all 4 keys for him. Think about it. He didn't command animals. He noticed their suffering and the specific plants that could heal them. He didn't command the sun. He noticed how a crystal could focus its energy. He didn't command water. He noticed its physical properties. And most importantly, he didn't seek out love. He noticed a deep human need and served it.
So this legend leaves us with a really profound question. It suggests that greatness isn't found in our job titles or our fancy tools, but in our attention, in our work, in our relationships, in our communities. What crucial detail, just waiting to be acted on, have we simply failed to notice?